Okay, what's up? Next up is the chassis swap. So I've got new shocks, front end, rear end, all done. That's the difference between a slash chassis, which is, this is the new low center of gravity slash, and this is the Stampede. They're going to move all this into all here. But you see there's a big difference in wheelbase, a big difference in width, and we're just going to see. Now, before I do anything, I want to center this servo for steering, get it to the middle. So I guess the first thing to do is at least get it so that the wiring is exposed. So it's disconnected. That's the servo I have to remove, but I've got to disconnect it from in here. So I guess we'll start taking apart this. I guess one way to do it is just disconnect them. Disconnect channel 2. See which one that's attached to. Yeah, I wasn't wrong. That's connected to channel 2. So that means the servo is connected to channel 1. That's the baby we want to remove out of here and get centered. So I think I'll take it out of here and then plug it back in and put a battery on, then center it. Alright, I'm going to disconnect the antenna, and I'm going to pop that out of there and see where we go from here. Okay, so this popped out. It's just stuck in with 2-way tape. You just carefully pry it out. Nothing to it. So I've reconnected everything back in. I want to just center this. Just connect the battery to this program here. Turn this on. Green light. Don't touch nothing. Just fire it up. It should center. Then move the power. Shut it off. It's centered. I don't know if you heard it do a little whiz jump there. Now I can shut the remote off and put it away. So that should be centered. Now this thing is going to get mounted in like this. And they say that this goes on, so it goes one tooth over from 12 o'clock. So carefully, trying not to screw anything up. So I put this back on here. Put the battery back on. Remote is still trimmed to 0. Turn it on. And that's centered. So once you got it, you're sure it's centered, then you just stick the thing in this way. Okay, found a screw for that. Now this goes on like a hockey stick pointing up. That's the way that goes on. So they do supply you with the 2 screws. I think you need. They're identical, so it doesn't matter which one. We'll stick one in through there like that, and it says to screw it in there. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh man, you need to have 3 hands to do everything on this thing. So now the servo is done. I guess the next thing to do is go for bag number G. This is the waterproof receiver box. So the receiver box is comes with the mounting screws, which I think are those two little short guys. Comes with two of these screws, which I think are for the cover, and then two really small square-headed button head, which I think go into there. And there's all kind of gaskets and stuff, but I again will look at the exploded view drawing to make sure I'm doing it correctly. And I found some really good 3M two-way tape. It's automotive molding tape actually, and I'll just press that down. I think the wires come out through the back here, so we'll set it like this. Now the antenna, all this stuff has got to go through the cover. So the antenna's got to go through, and this has got to go through this way. I'll let that sit for now. Maybe we'll move this baby over. Okay, that goes over there. And this wire is going to go in through here as well. Ta-da. Then the steering goes on to one. And not that, but this, which is coming from here, goes into two. Make sure they're snug. And then things start to take shape here. Let's get this all the way down, then we'll tuck them in after. Alright, time to put the antenna back in. There's this very, very small set screw that goes down in beside the antenna. Make sure the entire antenna wire is pointing away from the set screw. You don't want to clamp down on top of it and sever the wire. This is very small. And then it's a matter of putting all of this in there carefully. So we'll start with the antenna wire. So it comes with a little bottle of silicone. So I'm assuming to fill up some of the gaps here above the wires. I'm going to do it only because I've got it, but I don't know that I really have to. I don't really go too much into water. Oh, here we go. We got a mess happening already. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to lay a bead over top of the wires like that. And then let it squish down in with the foam. The wires are not being pinched. They're down in the cracks. And these screws are going in. Okay, got to remove the engine from the old Stampede chassis. So first there's these wires, and naturally, oh no, I don't have the wrong size. I just don't have it on reverse. Let's get it down. We get the right size. We buzz this one out, then we buzz these three for the cover off. None of this is being used. Then I have to take the engine plate off, because you get a new one with a new kit. You get a new cover, you get a new everything. Alright, so once I get these 3 screws off and this one out, then I'll get back to you. I'll show you what it looks like off. So it's going to go something like that. So there's got to be screw holes back there. Alright, so I've got a little Loctite or thread sealant. Use the blue kind for this job. I think that the red might be a little too strong. And these are the holes we're going to use now. Yeah. This thing comes with a brand new engine plate. And a mounting program. And I suspect it's just going to go sit in there like this. And I suspect these 4 screws are going to hold them down, and that motor is going to go on that stud, and that'll be that.
Thank you.
And then reuse this screw here
Thank you.
for this. So we've got all of the electrical connected. So all that's left to do is to put the motor, tighten the motor up. But in order to set that correctly, I've got to get a piece of paper between the gears and set that properly. So I just got to find a piece of paper and I'll do that. Piece of paper. Never done this before, so we'll see. Apparently, you just slide this down there and then put things together like that. Make sure the bearing is in, make sure that's pressed up against the paper. And that's apparently the gap big enough to do what we got to do. And of course I need that chrome screw. Where'd that go? Engine cover's got to go on. It's turning good. Nice. Okay. And then we can start putting, I think, the front and rear sections on. We're putting the side Nerf bars on. They just clip on underneath, and then there's 4 screws that go down into them. And of course the screws are supplied in the package. And this is nothing to this. Okay, battery mount is in. Everything is in. I have a new drive shaft that I'm going to put back on first and see if I can get this thing back on the road. Putting it back together is just as easy as taking it apart. There's 4 screws, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. And I gotta put the engine cover back on. I took that off for a minute. I readjusted everything. It seemed very tight when I went to roll, because you should be able to roll it and it shouldn't be so tight. I think I had all this gear mechanism like a little too tight. So I'll put this back on now. Only one little screw. Let me tighten these down first. So the back is on. next, the front. For the front, clearly we need to have a new drive shaft. So the front's going to go on there like that. I got to get a new drive shaft. So I got to cut this open. This is the drive shaft 6855. Traxxas standard aluminum deal. There's all kind of third-party ones you could use, but this just shoves in there like that. And this is going to, now the steering has to be over there. I gotta get the steering over there. I gotta get the steering connected. So the steering, it has to be over to the driver's side, that arm. And you want to turn to the left. Wow, that was way easier than I thought. Okay, I'm going to put a couple screws in just to hold that. Well, we've got complete conversion done. It's been tested. If you watched me plug in the controller and the VSC into the servo and the VSC, I said the servo goes into channel 1 and the VSC goes into channel 2, which is correct, except it isn't the top two slots, it's the second and third slot, because there's actually two channel 1s, and one of the channel 1s you don't use. So the very top slot is channel 1, the second slot, it's channel 1, and the third slot's channel 2. Anyhow, I had them in the top two slots, which was channel 1 and channel 1, and we had all kind of crazy stuff going on. Then I put it into channel 1 and channel 2, which is the second and third slot. I changed them, I unbuttoned this and put it back together, and it works like a charm right now. So that's it for this week. I'm going to put this thing away, put away all the old parts, and we'll start back on the body mounts and the painting of the body next week, and that'll be that. Fun.